What up, YouTube Digital? Okay, let's get some things out of the way. I'm gonna make this a reply to HBR and, if I can, Mad Bad Voodoo. HBR Media, I gotta say, 10 years in the business. 10 years doing insurance. And I've watched congressmen, news organizations, the president, everybody talking a bunch of shit. And I could tell you right now, even after seeing Obama make a fool of himself in one of his speeches, where he wasn't even versed enough to know about federal law, and I'm talking to the federal HIPAA law in 1996, where Obama said, you know, a member going to a new coverage could be hit by pre-existing, and that's he mentioned a new coverage, and federal law states that if a member can show that they had credible coverage, meaning real, for the last 12 months with no gaps larger than 63 days, then HIPAA or pre-existing has to be waived. Now, if it's a late enrollee, it goes 18 months. That means that they enroll after everyone else. So keep that in mind. Keep your COBRA, because so far as I know, that hasn't changed too much. But Obama couldn't even get it right. Obama was talking about shit that happened in the... It's funny that people, you know, it's like a 30-year whatever where people talk about the problems, but the problems are actually the problems that were in the 80s, not now. Not that many plans even have pre-existing, and really they should all just be banned. You know, it's like the old school HMO. The HMOs that are around now are not really technically that much HMO anymore. And the HMO problem is they micromanage themselves into a fucking nightmare of paperwork, which ended up costing them the same amount of money. So it's just retarded. But in these 10 years, I have watched fail. I've even gone to the point of the local news guy was doing a series on health insurance and shit, and I went as far as I saw his first night's thing. It was complete fail, and I was like, okay, listen, I can't stand listening to this shit. So I sent him a simple deal about TPA and stuff like that, and sure enough, he didn't do it. But he didn't want to do it because he was a complete fail. He wanted to do it. He wanted it to sound fail like the rest of them, because that sells advertising. It's like the Drudge Report and the Huffington Post and Russia Today and stuff. They all used to be great things, but now it's all about sales. It's all about the ads. None of them really proof check anything or fact check anything anymore or anything else. So in 10 years, 10 fucking years, I've seen nothing but fucking fail. And out of the blue, HBR Media brings a video that actually has some fucking bullshit in it. Well, not bullshit as in, you know, bad bullshit. But so I want to give him a shout out. There's some things that I'll clarify a little bit more, because some of it he's got a little bit backwards. Making money and stuff like that. There's a little bit there, but you know what? I can tell you right now, just in that video alone is light years above what I've fucking seen everywhere else. So cool. Now, I've been kind of dreading doing, really getting into Obamacare. And first off, people need to understand insurance a lot more than what they do. People think they understand it, but really, I thought I understood it before I went and worked it, and now I didn't understand shit. People, it's not the same. It's not the same as other insurances. Like if you're an auto adjuster or something like that, you have to be sanctioned by most states. You have to have a license. Well, I could pay $1 million claim tomorrow and not need anything. But if I do auto, I have to have it. So, and it's the same thing with life or any casualty type thing. So it's a little different. It's different on whether it's a direct contract or group, or group is also known as TPA. And a lot of people don't even know that the government, they think that if the government gets social care, that it's going to put my company out of business. And no, it's not, because the government can't pay. They can't do their benefits. They can't. So they pay more for less. I'm sure smart people can figure that one out. But because of a lot of bullshit that goes on, there's a lot of stuff that I can't say. There's been times where very big, gigantic companies have flopped, and we knew about a week beforehand, and we weren't allowed to say anything. If we got caught, that's very bad shit. Because that could lead right up to insider trading and stuff like that. If I knew a Fortune 50 company named XYZ is going to go belly up and file bankruptcy, and it's a week before that happens, and I go and say it, a lot of people will start selling their stock, which would just make everything even worse. They would thank me, but I would be in prison. So there's a lot of shit that I can't say. I can't talk about shit like that. There's the FTC part of it, then there's the HIPAA part, then there's some other shit. So, yeah. Am I afraid that Obamacare is going to stay? No. No. The media points this as a failed attempt, and it wasn't that strong of a issue to begin with. When you look at something like this, multiple different people and like, okay, let's just say there's a claim for here's a good one. Here's an awesome one. Breast reduction. Possible cosmetic, possible medical, possible not covered anyways. Provider builds it. Lady goes from like a quadruple F or whatever to a C and saves her back. And company denies it for cosmetic. Very rare or something like that covered. And the doctor's office files an appeal. We deny it. It's not over. Member files an appeal. Deny it. Still not over. Provider files an appeal. Goes up to another level. Maybe it was there, maybe not. But basically, on most of those claims, they have 2 levels of an appeal for each claim. Now, if you look at the law and you kind of put that kind of thing in there, the states are kind of bound by, was it Article 7 or 6 or 10 or 14? It's one of the articles where they have to follow the gov. So saith the shepherd, so saith the flock. So they were trying to sue so they didn't have to flock. And they lost. But if Americans sue, it's a totally different situation, because they're not suing as a state, they're suing as themselves having their rights taken away. And it's a different legal issue. Do I think that's going to happen? I won't doubt it. But still, there are many other things. Is this done? No. I've seen enough in this industry to know that, no. Am I afraid that social health care is coming? There's two different things on that front. Am I afraid because the insurance companies are going to fail and me not have a job? Well, no, I'm not afraid of that at all. The big 3 will stay the big 3, and the rest of them will be gone. Am I afraid of the benefits that would happen if it did? Oh yeah, they suck. Government health care sucks. It doesn't cover shit. I could do whole videos about Medicare Part A, Part B, and stuff like that, which are Medicare is pretty much kind of a model off of what's in the UK, in Canada. And the funny thing is in Canada, there are Canadians that are buying American insurance. They're buying out of their own pocket, buying American insurance, and they're even paying more to either see the doctors there with American insurance, because a lot of times they can cut ahead of people, or they're coming to America and seeing American doctors. So yeah, 3, 4. There's an industry poll saying there was probably getting close to 10 now, 10 million people. I could say this, that the social health care system cannot support itself after about 25 to 30 million people. It's just too much. They don't have the technology. They don't have, the doctors don't want to do it. The doctors don't get paid. They do not get paid. I mean, even here, say if a cash price of a doctor's visit here in Reno is probably about, I'd say, $175. Well, my company would have a contracted rate of probably $110, $125, and then Medicare's rate is probably about $60. So you think the doctor wants to see Medicare patients? Or if he does, he has to see like 25 of them a day. So that's why you have big, gigantic backlogs for Medicare, because no one's willing to take them. But the government can't do it themselves, so they're going to still pay. So I'll still have a job. And regardless, even if my company went out, I'd still have a job. Do I, I don't like the government benefits. They suck. They completely suck. Most of the shit that people have on their health plan, a lot of it wouldn't be covered. Chiros wouldn't, acupuncture wouldn't, just a lot of shit. But anywho, so the one thing I'll say about Obamacare right now is it's a complete fucking and utter fail. It's as simple as this. If Obama really cared about people, then the only thing he had to do was expand the tables for the Medicaid product, which in some states is Mass Health, and in other states it's other things. It's still a Medicaid product, but they're a lot, like in California it's Medi-Cal, Massachusetts it's MassNet, Tennessee it's TennCare, Oklahoma I think is Sooner Care or something like that. They're allowed to change the name, but most of them don't. Medicaid is set up for either free, like the people are getting cash assistance, or it's set up for people who make more as a share of cost system. And they just needed to adjust the tables or leave the tables the way they are, but figure a way to charge people for it. And that did not need 905 pages. That needed maybe 5. It did not need 900. So yeah, it's full of bullshit. I have not completely gone through it all. I've been in enough town halls and everything else to get some of the lovely, lovely deals. But anywho, I'm going to stop this for now. And I'm going to do probably a series of how healthcare works. The good, the bad, the ugly. If you have a question about healthcare, let me know. Obviously I can't see, people's benefits, so even if you're gonna go in for, like, say, a breast reduction or whatever, and you don't know if there's like pitfalls of whatever, possible cosmetic, or how do you get around, you went to the doctors and now you're being billed for something you don't owe, and matter of fact I'm being sued. That's funny. I got served last week by some collection agency that was suing me for dates of service of all the way February, something like that. February, December, a couple dates of service, but yeah, I made them have to go back down to the. I got served and the lady was all, "Oh, I'm sorry." Fuck, I give a shit. I'll have this fixed before you get home. And they had to go withdraw the case. Idiots. But anyway, if you don't want, you don't want me to know who you are or whatever, then, make another account. Send it. I am going to use examples in the video, and I got some, but I'm not going to use people's names, so don't worry about that. I'm not an asshole. It takes a lot for me to treat you like Von Helden. So, anywho, Everyone said fuck Obama today. And again, I know that there is an issue. People like to blame commercial insurance. First off, it's not our issue. Secondly, I will honestly say that the industry as a whole really, truly tried to work with the government. But it was very clear from the beginning that there was no point of even being there. It was not what the government, mainly Obama, wanted. He did not want people. He wanted what he wanted, even though he doesn't understand. There's something about it, something weird. I mean, to me, this was definitely more about trying to scare the insurance companies more than anything. I mean, he definitely put stock in an issue, but it had nothing to do with helping Americans. He didn't need 905 pages to help Americans. I mean, should I just fix it in 5? I mean, it was expand the tables, come up with the rate, or either a rate or share of costs, and call it done. I mean, it was that easy. They only need to go up 133% of the poverty line, so that was easy. There, done. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about it because, yeah. But definitely PM me questions and stuff like that. And I'll talk about how insurances really make money and shit. Because it's a little complicated, but anyway. Peace.